Shanti. Can I request the souls at the back and the sides to please come to the front? There's plenty of space on this side. Thank you. We're very fortunate to have Didi with us today. And I can't think of a better person to address this subject of purity. And today I really want to take up the subject of the dharana of purity with Didi. And when we talk about dharana, we're not just talking about a behavior or an action, but the dharana is a deep inner support system. And dharana has many levels. Some of the levels are smriti, awareness, vritti, attitude, drishti, vision, and then actions. And so I'm sure that Didi's responses on this subject will cover all these levels today, so that by the end of our session, we will have developed a very practical vision of what it means to become pure and to live with purity in a practical way. So Didi, thank you very much for coming. And I want to start off with one question. Baba says that purity is the mother of peace and happiness. And I associate the energy of purity with care. So when it comes to the subject of the self, how do you look after yourself and care for yourself?
Baba always says, charity begins at home. So, first thing I had to implement that whatever Baba is telling us. And the basis of purity is soul consciousness. It's the first lesson. But that first lesson we had to imbibe thoroughly, because unless I am practicing soul consciousness, I cannot be pure. And it's not just knowledge, because knowledge is easy. Even 5-year-old child will say, yes, I am a soul. Soul is here. So anybody will tell once they have understood this. But then maintaining that awareness all the time. I am a soul. Look at others, that they are souls. Because otherwise what happens is we are so much used to look at others as bodies, no? So our first vision goes on, oh, how this soul looks like, how this body looks like, and hairstyles and eyes and makeup and dressing and everything. So that's where, whether it's for us or for others, no? Because we are so much wanting to impress other people. And to impress other people, we say, oh, I must look smart. And so we need to dress up nicely, have good hairstyle, we need to have a nice makeup and matching our dresses with our makeup and shoes and handbag and all. Because that was our emphasis before Gyan. So now, being more introvert, soul conscious, and also rather than worrying about others' opinion, because many times we are not concerned about what I feel, but what others will think. And so to please others, we do so many things. A partner will think what my partner will like. Sometimes the partner chooses the color of the dress. So we are concerned about the opinion of others, and we do it so that nobody criticizes me, everybody appreciates. So if there is no self-esteem, then what happens? We want appreciation from others. And that's why I need to really have that love for myself, respect for myself, and intoxication as who am I. Because in the early stage, Baba used to tell everybody to, he himself started writing notes, diary full of I am a soul, I am a soul, I am a soul, drawing the picture of the soul in his diary and on the walls. So to make everything really pakka, we need to really remind again and again, I am a soul. Then to have that self-esteem, that I am most elevated Brahman. I am Baba's child. Like who is my father? Who is my teacher? Because people are proud of their family, their lineage, their clan, especially Indians, they are so much proud that, I am a Brahman. The Brahmins will have that pride, I am Brahman. The warriors will have that, the rulers will have that pride that, my father is king. So our Father is making us kings of kings. So having that awareness all the time, who am I? In the beginning, the sisters used to move around thinking, I'm four-armed Vishnu. So rather than thinking, I'm a poor person, because sometimes people have so much self-pity. Nobody cares for me, nobody loves me, nobody appreciates me, nobody gives me chance for this and that. So they have self-pity rather than self-esteem. So I had to see that I don't have that self-pity, but I have that self-esteem as whose child I am, who is my teacher, who is my guru, who is my friend, who is my beloved. So having that awareness as I am not an ordinary person, but I am most elevated Brahman, then naturally that self-esteem as well as intoxication will be there, that I am not an ordinary person. Because otherwise our vision was, drishti was, we looked at our role in this society, in the Lokik job, and then if we didn't have good position or lots of money or beauty or health, then we used to have pity for ourselves. My health is never good. My pay is not good. I don't earn enough. I don't have enough bank balance. So we were so much materialistic. And having that awareness as what is missing in us, rather than thinking about what I have, we used to have this awareness, what is missing in us. And naturally then, we didn't have that self-respect.
Didi, I like what you're saying.
Before these people come and settle, where is Tamil translation? Is there any Tamil translation spatial area?
Is Tamil, but is there somebody there in 89? Yes, okay, there is.
Translation is there.
There is.
But if they don't have FM radio.
You have FM? Yeah. Okay. They have FM. Didi, I like the emphasis you're placing on soul consciousness, because this understanding of soul consciousness for so many is very dry. Just repeat in your head, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul. But what you're saying is something very deep. It's about creating a feeling of abundance inside, being full of an experience, not always paying attention to what I don't have, but paying attention to what I do have in terms of my relationship with Baba, in terms of my own treasures. And so it's not a deficit consciousness, it's a very abundant consciousness. And I like that because that's something practically I can sustain. If I just have to in between remind myself, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, after a while it's meaningless. But when I have to remind myself how full I am, then very naturally that experience of soul consciousness comes. And I just want to ask you at a very practical level, I know that there are some in your day, there are immense demands on your time. And often those demands come from people. And people's nature, people's sanskars, people's requests, they want decisions immediately. What do you personally have as a practice to help you keep this energy of abundance alive so that you don't let yourself get drained?
What we need to do is experiment and practice. Because rather than having theoretical knowledge that I am a peaceful, we had to experience that. Because whatever treasures Baba has given, it should not be just intellectual understanding that I am a peaceful soul, or I am happy soul, or I am child of this. It should be feeling from our heart. And that's why Baba says, experiment these things. Suppose somebody doesn't have that awareness of who am I, then Baba has given us about 300 titles.
But that, Didi, isn't it true that in the initial stages of experimenting, you have to talk to yourself like a parrot? Does it start like that before it becomes an experience? How does it become natural?
Of course, you start with telling yourself.
Okay.
Telling yourself, imagining, because some of the things we had to imagine.
Okay.
And some of the things we had to remind us. And throughout the whole day, we had to practice it.
Okay.
Or allow us to have that awareness all the day. Because rather than in the morning I am saying, okay, I am a river of knowledge. Whole day I had to churn Gyan, I had to really go into the depth of Gyan, and whoever comes, I have Gyani chit-chat or share whatever I have churned from Murli, so that I am aware of that, I am implementing that, and then I will have intoxication that yes, I am really river of knowledge or master ocean of knowledge. So that way Baba has given us many, many titles, and he is giving many, many treasures. But throughout the day, implementing it with churning, with sharing, and being the embodiment of what Baba has told us. And so rather than thinking about what is missing in me, because sometimes, some people say, oh, I'm not tolerant, I have never been tolerant, I am short-tempered. Sometimes, we tell ourselves, which is our weakness, and we make it pakka, that I am a warrior, I am timid, I am afraid of all these things. So we revise it and stamp it ourselves that I am a timid person, I am afraid of night, or I am afraid of cockroach, or I am afraid of dog or something. So rather than that, we had to remind ourselves, I am Shiv Shakti, Shiv Baba is my companion, Shiv Baba is me, Shiv Baba will protect me, Shiv Baba will help me, I am a courageous soul. So that's where we had to create rivers awareness. And that way you'll find that gradually you'll become. It may be not at the moment, but by reminding me that this is my really original nature, or this is what Baba has been giving me. So by reminding again and again, we become the embodiment of that.
I like very much what you're saying when you talk about make the title practical. Because what this is doing for me is it's helping me to understand how I have to be in the day with everyone who comes to me. So, for example, if I hold a title, like you said, I'm a river of knowledge, sometimes people think that to practice the title means just to repeat the title in the head all day. But what you're actually saying is do something related to that title. So whatever or whoever comes in front of you, it's a chance to use that title, to give knowledge, to share jewels. And in that way, you're reinforcing your self-esteem, so whatever comes to you doesn't take your energy away. That, I like that reframe on self-esteem very much. I want to take this piece to the relationship with the mind. There's a big complaint. And the complaint is that I have impure thoughts, many souls come, I have many, again and again, these impure thoughts coming in my mind. I get distressed by these impure thoughts, by these weak thoughts about myself, and I keep losing my self-esteem. And I just wanted to know, Didi, what does it really mean to look after your mind? Because it's not that all of us are born perfect. Like you've had weaknesses, I have weaknesses. How have you dealt with impurity that comes in your mind without letting yourself be distressed by it?
As soon as negative or impure thought comes, don't sustain them. Immediately start thinking opposite thing. Okay. And keep your mind busy with churning yarn. That's why Baba says read or listen Murli every day. So not just listen for the sake of listening, but start churning throughout the day. And if you keep your mind busy with knowledge or some activity, then naturally negative thoughts have no chance to come. And so that's what I should practice throughout the day, and check my mind all the time, because mind is mischievous and racing here and there. So in Gita it has been compared as a wild, unbridled horse. It can cover continents in few seconds. Mind can go from here to America, it doesn't take long. And so we have to really be controller of my mind. Remind myself I am master of my mind, and not mind run around here and there in any direction, waste thought, negative feeling, because everything starts with thoughts. First, my awareness. If I'm aware I am soul, then naturally there will be that peace or happiness, etc. So first is awareness. Then due to awareness there will be that sort of a thoughts. Because if I'm body conscious, then naturally those vicious thoughts will come in my mind. And that's why Baba again and every day emphasizes you are a soul. Because our old body conscious sanskars are such deep rooted that we become body conscious without being aware. And that's why Baba says, check your mind. Remind yourself you are the master of your mind. And my mind should be obeying me and behaving properly. So just as the mothers have to all the time keep on observing their children, isn't it? That child is not naughty and not doing something and damaging itself or damaging any of the household properties, etc. In the same way, early stage, we have to check your mind all the time, what is thinking. And then, as soon as we think it's not going in a right direction, we have to have a powerful brake. Because the accelerator of mind is very powerful nowadays. It goes in 100 directions within 5 minutes. But our mind hasn't got that powerful brake. We don't have powerful brake to stop mind thinking. And that's where through yoga power we have to develop powerful brake so that you are, as soon as you realize you are thinking in a wrong direction, you have to have the brake and turn the mind in a different direction, jnana, churning jnana, thinking positively. Because otherwise, we are so much used to see the weaknesses of others. It's a critical mind. We appreciate a few things, but we'll criticize many things. And so we have to really develop that habit of looking, as soon as we start thinking, this person has done like that, wrong thing, and having negative feeling, dislike, hatred. No. Start thinking what that person has done good. Which are the good qualities of that person rather than which are their weaknesses. So that's where we have to really, that's why Baba says, keep on checking your mind. Check and then change immediately. So that you don't feel then frustrated about yourself or become stressed. Because Baba always says, if you are paying attention, you won't have tension. That's Baba's slogan all the time. And that's made necessary now, not only attention in the beginning of the jnana, but throughout our life we have to pay attention. That mind is in a right frame, right way of thinking. Because until and Dadis and Brahma Baba used to pay attention, a lot of attention, that mind should be in a right direction, going into right direction under my control. And that's why Baba is emphasizing on real effort or intense effort, so that we don't say, oh, what can I do? My mind is so much used to it. This is all weakness. But I'm Master Almighty Authority. Remind that also. That title is very essential, so that we are able to use whichever power we want, whenever we want. And so it's a matter of practice and time and attention.
You know, Didi, I think what you're emphasizing really, I feel, is very important, because this whole understanding of intense effort is often taken very literally. Like, I have to be a hatha yogi, right? Wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, have 6 hours meditation, even if I fall asleep halfway through, or, like a hatha yogi effort. And what you're really emphasizing is that a Raj Yogi life is the one that is able to pay attention, full attention to the mind, and to look after the mind in a way that you can sustain good energy and positive vibrations. And in that, I like this connection that first, whatever is my awareness, that's going to influence the quality of my thoughts. Second, apply the brake when it's going down the wrong direction. And third, if you can't apply the brake, change the direction. Think about something positive. But whatever you do, change the energy again and again. Don't just indulge in the impure thoughts that are coming up. And that's a very important track for intense effort to make. So it's a very nice piece added to this. Didi, I just want to take this in a slightly different direction now. And in terms of relationships, You talked about the need for introversion as the basis for really becoming soul conscious, becoming pure. And I feel that there are many subtle dharanas of purity in our interactions and relationships we need to pay attention to. And many souls try to make effort, spiritual effort, but in an extrovert state, which is why it feels difficult. So one is, I'd like to know, what really is introversion? And how can you help us understand introversion in a way that we don't become isolated, especially when we're with others? And the second aspect is around the dharanas that I need to pay attention to when I am relating to others. So I don't lose my purity, but there is a healthy boundary that's kept.
Now, in order to have good relationship, naturally, more I practice soul consciousness, my positive qualities will become natural, isn't it? Because if I'm soul conscious, I'm loving. And I can't have hatred for anyone or even dislike. Because we are surrounded by laukics as well as alaukic. And laukics, we can understand that they have their own weakness and sanskars. But sometimes even with laukics who are bossy or demanding, sometimes we dislike them or hate them. And problem is we don't even forgive them. So we don't forget what they have done in the past. And so our reaction and action depends on that past impression. And that creates more problem and conflict. That this person has never done this good to me, or this person has always liked this to me. So naturally we have preconceived feelings about them. And that's where we have to now forgive them. First we have to forgive them. Then we will be able to forget past.
And does forgiveness mean letting go of your old impression of them?
Forgive means you have to tell yourself, okay, they have done this because that's their sanskars. Just as if any crazy person is doing any funny activities or speaks something wrong, you don't take it to your heart. You say, it's crazy. It doesn't affect us. In the same way, people have crazy sanskar or impure sanskars. Impure sanskars are like a craziness. And that's why we should have mercy for them. But when we are expecting that, okay, they should have done this to me, we forget our karma, no? Suppose some laukic parents have been very bossy. And then we keep in mind, oh, they are like this, they are like this, they are like this. But we forget it was our karma that we were born over there. But now I am jnani. So I should have this awareness, okay, I have cleared my karma. But if I still maintain that negative feeling that my laukics have been very rude and very bossy and very demanding and never listening to me, never giving me freedom. So then what happens is you maintain that animosity and you haven't forgiven them. But once you say, okay, they have done it because it was their sanskar, it was their part, it was my karma with them, and start looking at what they have done good to you, because they have sustained you all your life, provided you whatever comfort as a child, education. So see what they have done good or what is good quality in them. And then you will not have that negative feeling. So whether it's a Lokik or Alokik, because Lokiks, it's easy to forgive them. And we say, oh, they are Agyani, so naturally they will be like that. But when we find Gyanis having some weaknesses or vices, our expectation is usually more. They are Gyani, they are so many years in Gyan. Can't they understand? Haven't they changed at all or what? So our expectation is that. But we have to remember everybody has got their own sanskar and their own speed of efforts, and they have to change. So having that, as Baba saying, to be benefactor, you have to be really merciful, and that's where we have to see now. We have to develop that mercy for them, compassion for them, that their sanskars are such deep-rooted, they haven't changed or they are not making effort. So if we have merciful attitude, benevolent attitude, then it's easy to forgive them and have good wishes. That's where Baba is emphasizing again and again, maintain good wishes for them. Maintain pure feelings for everybody. And that's where it's when we bring it in a practical life. Good wishes, pure feelings, love, mercy for Agyanis or those who have impure sanskars. And having that awareness that if I have now knowledge, if I have Baba with me, I should be helping them. Whoever has whatever wrong they have, it's my duty to help them. Yeah? So with my good wishes and pure feeling, I can help them. With my critical vision or dislike, attitude of dislike or hatred, I can't help them, nor I'm helping myself. Whenever I have negative feeling, I'm not helping myself because I feel internally very bad. They are bad, but I'm feeling bad because they are bad. So that's my weakness. To see somebody's weakness, Baba says, is your weakness. And so I have to see that I'm not having any negative feeling for anyone. And whether they are Jnani, Agyani, whether they are good or not good, just as Brahma Baba had unconditional love. Because otherwise our opinion is conditional. And our love also will be conditional. If somebody is nice, we love them. If somebody is nasty, we hate them. And that's, worldly people also do like that. I'm Jnani. So that's where I have to use my Jnana points each and every step. And with the yoga power, I need to imbibe love, mercy, tolerance, patience, all these powers. Because sometimes we are not tolerant about somebody or some of their weakness and we get angry and upset. So rather than realizing it's my weakness, we are pointing out, they are doing all the time like this. So we are so much used to blame others for something going wrong in our life. But now I had to really look myself. That's where introversion is coming into play. To look at myself. What is my awareness? What is my attitude? What is my drishti towards them? What are my words I am speaking? What are my action or reaction towards those situations? So introversion is to look at myself rather than looking at weaknesses of others.
Nice, very nice reframe. I like the energy as you're speaking, it's coming to mind this whole feeling of keeping you've obviously done a lot of work on yourself, Didi, to keep yourself clean. And that's a really important aspect of purity, to keep yourself clean of this kind of rubbish that can start to happen when you look at weaknesses. And there's also this energy of benevolence, that purity always gives. And that in any situation, rather than having expectations of what I have to take and what they have to give me, I have to reverse the process and think, what do I have to give? Because that's the energy of purity, that's the energy of mercy. So those were two things that stood out for me that I felt were very important. And the way you first started was that the reason we lose purity in relating to each other is because we hold past impressions of each other. And those impressions work and influence our awareness and our thinking about somebody. And we're not always conscious of that because we don't realize how, let's say you've behaved in a particular way, I've taken a snapshot of you like that. And then subtly I'll just interact with you with what I've got in my mind rather than the reality of who you are. So I think those were some very nice little nuggets that Didi has shared. I want to just take this now into the direction of the subject of decision making. You actually remind me a lot of Didi because my experience and my own experience of Didi was that she was the controller of the yagya, somebody who held a lot of administration power in her hands, but very soft and available in her energy. And I just want to know, Didi, that so many souls find it difficult to make decisions, and how to make accurate decisions. How do I know what I'm doing is right? And so I want to know, you handle, and you've been handling so many things in the yagya, now foreign land, now India, and you often are put in a position where you have to make instant decisions about things, about people, about situations. What's your process for making decisions? What do you consider when you make decisions so that you really can make decisions that are beneficial?
In order to make right decision, one needs to have clean and clear mind without, as I said, preconceptions of people and things and situation, etc. So once your intellect is clear and clean and you have link with Baba, main thing is our link with Baba should be clear. Then I can get the right touching from Baba as what is to be done, what is to be not done. And so we get that discrimination power, judgment power, etc. with that clean and clear intellect. Because Baba is making us Trikaldarshi, so that we can think about past, present and future. So what one needs to do is have that clear link with Baba. And that is possible if I have total detachment. Because if I'm attached either to myself, others, possessions, position or anything, so purer my intellect, detached, then with that detached intellect, my link with Baba will be clear and I will be able to catch that touching. So that's where I have to see that whatever I am catching is Baba's touching and not my own manmat.
Yes, can you say more about that? Can you expand on that, because that's important.
Because my manmat, because we have been so much used to that social implication. No, we are so much influenced by our parents and teachers and friends and their mat. And also we have our own sanskars, which are our own way of thinking. Because now that we belong to Baba, we have to think everything in Baba's way. So Baba's drishti, thinking, attitude is totally different from our worldly, how we are brought up, isn't it? Because otherwise we are holding on my culture and my people and my country and my religion, etc. So that's where I need to be totally detached from mine. Mine should be now everything turned to Baba. What Baba would think, what Baba will do. So that way, and also none of you might have seen Brahma Baba, but at least all of you must have read Adi Dev. We are listening through Dadis how Brahma Baba was. And also we see Dadis at least who are following Brahma Baba's footsteps. So how they think, how they behave, how they act, we have to follow them. And that's where, rather than manmat or parmat, we can follow Srimat.
Didi, what are the first indicators in your own mind or in your feelings that this is manmat or this is Srimat? How do you know that if something's going on in your that's manmat?
If it is my manmat, naturally many people will not agree. There is disagreement with other people. No, they say, no, not to be done like this. Others will say, no, don't do like this and that. So with manmat, there will be conflict with others. With manmat, I won't get Baba's help. So I will have obstacles here and there. Nothing will go right. I had to struggle hard to get whatever I want to get done. So if that sort of obstacles come because of conflicts with others or situation and everything doesn't go as planned, it's my manmat. If it is Srimat, though it seems a bit hard, no, Srimat seems sometimes hard. Every day to wake up at 3:34. Oh, every day to go to class, every day to listen to the same murli, same points. So, because it may seem hard, I have to give up my friendship, I have to give up my movies, I have to give up my parties and all sorts of things. So Srimat for other people looks hard, no? To follow all the principles and maryadas and all. Whereas Baba is giving us all this direction so that we move forward and Maya does not trap us here or there. And so Srimad, though it seems hard, Baba gives us help. And that's why most of the Brahmins say it was so easy to follow celibacy. People think, oh, it is impossible. And it's so easy. Or so many of us have given up whatever drinking, smoking, non-veg diet without much trouble. So Baba helps us. It's not only he gives us direction, but he helps us. So that's how we find Srimat when we are following Srimad, we get lots of help from Baba. And the family also will be cooperative. Situation also will turn around and everything will be easy.
Nice. I like these two things you're bringing out. One is the aspect of the detached intellect. And it brought into my mind how when, like you said, we live in the box of my culture, my experience, my life, and then we try and justify my with Baba's knowledge. Do you see what I mean? Rather than stepping out of that box and really just looking at what is Baba's way. And it means that I don't want an outcome in anything for myself. So I like this aspect of detached intellect that you're bringing up. And then this aspect of Srimad, that, and it makes me feel that how important is the process of verifying your thinking with a senior. Because we think, we make decisions about our lives every day, where I'm going to go to university, where I have to get a job, where I have to... So at what level can I take consultation? Can I get verification for the direction of my life to make sure that I am following Srimad?
It's very essential, I would say, in the early stage. We verify with seniors, especially the yogi seniors or dadi. I remember one Mohini Didi, when Mama left the body, it was her responsibility to look after yagya. And so many people used to come and ask Didi what to do about this situation. So what she used to do is, she used to think for herself what should be the answer. Then she will go to Brahma Baba and check with him. Baba, this is the situation, what should we advise? And once her thoughts or decision was same as Brahma Baba, she knew, yes, that's right. Her intellect is clear and link with Baba is clear. So that's how we had to really, in the early stage, we had to verify with others. But otherwise also, the result of your actions and activities, you'll see immediately, no? Somebody is opposing, the things are not going right.
And I think it has a very deep link to allowing Baba to become responsible for me. That's an aspect in our decision making, because we hold the basket of this burden of worries because I think I have to do everything. This mepan, this feeling of I-ness, it's a very strong feeling for many souls.
Yeah, we have to remain instrument and rather than I, Baba says, have that awareness, I am a soul, rather than my responsibility, Baba's responsibility.
I think you've mastered that, because you're one of the few people I know that actually don't look busy. You are busy, but you don't look busy. And I can feel that there isn't this energy of, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do the other. And so you feel always available. So anybody will come. I'll phone you in the middle of the night and you'll give me an answer to something. Or I'll phone you in the middle of the day for something and you'll give me an answer to something. So I think that's a very key aspect of remaining an instrument. I'm just touching on different areas of our life with Didi in relation to purity. So we've taken up the subject of looking after the self, relationships, the mind. We've talked about decision making. I want to now go to the subject of money and wealth.
Money.
Because, Didi, in today's day and time, there's great economic crisis, financial breakdowns. People are concerned about their money and worried about their money. And I know that in your position in the yagya, you also receive money, you have to make decisions about money. What really should be our relationship with money so that we can purify that relationship? Baba talks about man, tan and dhan, the mind, body, wealth. And that in these three aspects, we are developing purity. So what advice would you give to somebody about purifying their relationship with wealth? Because one of the chief causes of worry in life is deeply linked to money.
What we need to do is have faith in Baba and work sincerely. Wherever you are working job-wise, if you are working sincerely, honestly, and I think it's a lack of faith in self, Baba and Rama that people worry. The main reason of worry is lack of faith. Because Baba is always telling us that my children will never remain hungry. It's easy to get 2 chapatis or fill up your stomach. And so if I have faith, I belong to Baba, I am Baba's child, then I will not have any worry or fear. Now, to give you example, we have one brother in Australia, he was working with Ansett Airlines. He was engineer in that, aircraft engineer in that. Now this Ansett Airlines became bankrupt and they had to, all the staff was redundant, or they had to just go and find another job. But he being engineer, and because there were already their aircrafts were still there, they kept him. Because he was honest and sincere and good in his work. Now, that airline was taken away bought by Virgin Airlines, another airlines. They bought that airlines and all, aircraft and all. So then he was employed by that airlines. So not a single day he had to be jobless. And that's what, more you have faith in Baba and you are working, because Baba is teaching us to be sincere, honest and all. So I have seen that those Baba's children who are really honest and sincere, Baba looks after them. And if they lose one job, they get another. Or because in early days, in 70s, I remember many Brahmins who were working with whichever boss, and their friends other Brahman wanted to have a job. The boss will be very happy to employ them, because they say, oh, you are so sincere and honest and good. I don't mind having your friend, another friend or Brahman to work with us. So many used to get the job with them. So the thing is, mainly worry, we should not worry. Because as Baba says, drama is beneficial. Whatever is happening, whatever has happened was good, whatever is happening is good, whatever will happen will be good, better. So that slogan Baba has given, and if I have faith in that, then naturally I won't worry. Whatever will happen will be better. So naturally we have to be careful and not careless. But at the same time, one should not worry. It's Baba's. If I belong to Baba, that faith should be there, that I belong to Baba, and Baba will look after me, that faith. So that's, once your mind is surrendered to Baba, then Your body will be working for Baba and your money will be pure. So I think that's where we had to give up I and mine and Baba, Baba all the time.
We'll open up for questions in a minute. I just wanted to pull out a couple of things from what you were saying just now. One thing I feel is very important in finishing worry is this energy of sincerity. I think when you said you have to work sincerely, because money is just an energy in one part of your life. And if in other parts of your life, in your actions or your behaviors, you're not being sincere, then this energy doesn't come to you. And so it's like your own karma becomes your own wealth in life. You know, the more sincere karma you perform, you will never have reason to worry because you know you will get what you need when you need it. So this energy of really being sincere in our lives is something I really like from this. And actually, this absolute bottom line, you shouldn't worry. You know, it's like we've almost given permission to ourselves to worry. On the one side, yes, I'm a soul, I belong to God. On the other side, I'm still worried. I have this energy eating away inside. And then on this side, I'm trying to practice becoming a soul, trying to practice becoming purity. But at some point, I have to face it and finish it. I can't let this energy indulge in it anymore as well. So I like that emphasis a lot in that way. And the third aspect is just continuing the theme that you began from the beginning about abundance, about being full, not looking at what's empty, is that I know in my life that whenever my thinking shrinks, you know, like you get deficit thinking, all your resources in life start shrinking. You stop getting certain things, obstacles come, blocks come. But when your thinking becomes generous and expanded and unlimited, then suddenly things start to flow in your life. I think that's a very clear line of sight. So I'm sure that you've taken many jewels and nuggets. Have you found it helpful? Yeah? Very much? Good. So, any questions? Yes, come to the front. If you have any questions, please come to the front together. Come. So if there's anybody else, please just come and make a line at the front.
If they need any language, then they will have to get somebody else to.
Okay, if you need a translator, then we can get translation as well. Somebody else can come, take the mic.
Thank you very much. That was really, really helpful. I liked what you said about the powerful break, but I have this question in my mind about to be healthy, we mustn't repress or suppress things. So, for example, my husband fell very ill and had to give up his vocation as a psychotherapist, and he feels a lot of grief about that, and he feels it's important to experience that grief before he can be free of it. Whereas I keep thinking, yes, but Daddy would say, don't take sorrow, don't deal with it. So it's this question of how can we be sure we're not suppressing something and keeping it down there and then it festers?
Now, the thing is, that's where we differ from psychotherapists or psychologists, because they will say, express what you feel, how you feel. And we say, we have to transform thinking. So rather than, you don't need to suppress, but you are changing your direction. Follow? Because rather than grieving for what you are missing, because you grieve because you are going to miss something, someone, their love, their affection, their cooperation, etc. And that's where what Brahmins will have to do is, rather than thinking what they will be missing and feeling sorry about it, taking sorrow about the death of somebody. That's where Baba says, now you establish all relationship with Baba. You lost your partner. But if Baba is your partner, you are never going to lose that partner. Or if you are losing your mother, father, whichever relationship, that's where Baba says, okay, you establish all relationship with Baba. Then you are detached from people around you. Because before Gyan, we were dependent on these people, and dependency will create attachment. And when you are attached to somebody, when you lose that somebody, naturally you take a lot of sorrow. Mm-hmm. And that's why right from beginning we are establishing all relationship with Baba so that we get everything from Baba. Not only Baba, but on a physical level, we have such an unlimited family. And when we establish good relationship with that unlimited family, they are always there to help us. And that's what most of the Brahmins, when they are sick and other Brahmins are going to help them, they really feel that, yes, Brahmins are really loving and helpful. Mm. And they appreciate this unlimited family. Mm. Because unlimited family has been helpful. So that's where we have to now change, So we don't repress it. We don't suppress our self-feeling.
But we learn how to take help.
But we make it positive, Rather than thinking, oh, now this soul has left the body and I have nobody to go to. But before Gyan, after Gyan, we have so many supports, unlimited support from Baba, because Baba is never going to die. Baba is never going to leave us alone. He is going to help us. So that's where no more you establish relationship with Baba, more you receive help from Baba, you become more confident that Baba is always there for me.
I think, Didi, you've touched upon two important aspects. One is the whole preventative approach, that the more you stay connected to Baba and feel all relationships, you protect yourself from the energy of grief or sadness. And so it's because that energy overcomes you that you feel suppressed by it. And then the other side is, if you are locked in that energy, then the relationship with the family is also there, that allows you to know that you can take help and be honest about it, rather than wallowing in the grief and the sadness, that you can open up and say, I need some help. That's okay to be honest, isn't it?
As I said, is also Baba teaches us right from beginning to be detached. Detached, because when there is attachment, there is definitely grief. We don't realize how much dependent we have been on human beings and material things. It's a dependency, attachment. And so when you lose something, then there is so much sorrow. But as you start taking support from Baba, spiritual things, develop spiritually, mature spiritually, naturally you won't have to depend on human beings and material things.
Thank you. Yes.
Om Shanti Didi ji. I like the way you told me about faith, which is I have faith in a God very much, but I'm working in a children's school in the USA, the small babies. But I get very much tired, feel like to quit the job. I don't know what to do, because you told me that thinking every day makes you weak. So this situation, what should I do? Because should I continue to work with the children or should I not? Because I work with a small baby and I love the babies.
Now, how old the children are?
From 6 weeks to 1 year.
Okay. Now, what I would say is you have to change your attitude. Because even such small children, they will get your vibrations. They will catch your vibrations. If you think they are nuisance, they are this, I have to do that, I have to do that, oh no, this, no, this, no, that, then you will get trouble.
I love
But
them actually.
more you do everything with love. And you remind yourself, I am peaceful soul, I am loving soul, I am a calm soul, I am a happy soul. Then if you are in that awareness and attitude, those even babies will be able to pick up. Whereas I've seen with older children, some of the teachers have shared their experience. What they have started doing is they go to the classroom with that awareness. I am a soul, I am a peaceful soul. And in some of the schools, I definitely remember one of the Mauritian teacher he used to do is, he used to draw soul on the board. And he will tell, before starting class, he will say, okay, let us maintain peace or prayer or whatever it is. Because in some of the countries you can't talk about God, you can't talk about meditation. But peaceful contemplation, they can always do it. And he started doing it, and the children were different. They became calm. Because some teenagers, especially 11, 12, 13 years old children, they are really, as you say, nuisance. But if you change your attitude and you give them some sort of a meditation, they will change. And even one of the teacher was teaching with disabled children. Because he went there with that positive vibration, peaceful vibration. Those disabled children also were quite peaceful and happy. It was such a contrast with Lokik, other teacher who was teaching with him, and him teaching, Brahman teaching. The atmosphere changed because our vibration. So try that, and if it doesn't work, then give up.
I work past 10 years.
Huh?
I work in a school 10 years. And I love babies very much. But I get tired.
But that's where you have to now be soul conscious,
Positive.
you won't be tired.
Okay. Thank you, Didi.
Didi, this subject of tiredness, it's a tricky subject, eh? Because sometimes, Didi, I think that many times my experience of knowing Brahmins is that the neglect of the body and not understanding the body, deficiencies and looking after the self physically properly. You know, you're a doctor, and I know that you've just been through quite a tremendous physical illness. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Didi was really severely ill in hospital. And look at her, she's sitting here smiling like nothing's happened to her. And throughout that time, I don't ever remember seeing Didi grumble or complain. I feel this pain, I feel that pain. I think this relationship with the body has a connection with tiredness. So can you help us understand what it means to have a pure relationship with the body so we don't get tired?
You need to have balanced life. As Baba says, have minimum 6 hours rest, have balanced diet, and then meditation.
Thank you, Didi.
Okay.
Love you, Didi.
Om Shanti. I know having a Lakhic family and being the only soul in knowledge in a Lakhic household, that there are many challenges. And I know balance is very important. But I've heard from many that even though our husbands and children over the years do feel that they take much benefit from us from being in knowledge, also feel that this is not the lifestyle that they have chosen, that they would have chosen. And so I feel in many instances that where I'm following Baba's Srimat, Baba, you said earlier about how do you be introverted and not be isolated. For instance, my husband has complained over the years that I've become more quiet or that I don't want to socialize as much. To me, this is perfect, but not for him. So his complaint is that I'm more quiet. As I'm being soul conscious, and I know that he's my brother's soul, he says, I don't want a sister, I want a wife. And I think to myself, oh, but Baba tells me we are brother and sister. Of course, I say this to myself. So his complaint is that I want a wife, not a sister, or that I want Baba to be my one and only. And even though I try to spend a lot of time with my Lakics, I know at times he feels jealous of my involvement in BK life, or almost jealous, even though he has his own relationship with God. He's a devout Catholic, but feels almost jealous of my relationship with God because my husband used to be my one and only. So, and he wants me to be happy, and he takes so much benefit from my being in knowledge, but he's still not happy because of the lifestyle. Any suggestions?
Okay. Now, what you will have to do is look at him not only as your brother, but as your friend, as your child. Because people need love. So what you have to see whether you really spiritually love, not physically, but you love him and attend to his needs. I remember one of the mothers in Australia, she used to treat her husband as a child. In the sense, she would prepare lunch for him, give lunch with love before he goes to work, and see that his physical needs were fulfilled. So main thing what you have to do is see that you are having real love for him and you are caring for him. And also you should give not too much time, but some time to him to chat about, even if it is Laukic things. To begin with, we have to help them to think in a Laukic way, How was the day? How are you? What you want to do, etc., etc. So give him company at some times. Because I remember one of the young men, he came into Gyan, and his wife was complaining, oh, you don't spend any time with me. So I told that guy to just spend morning for his spiritual study, but give evening time to wife, and especially weekend, take children out, have some family life, because otherwise they feel they've lost everything. So give some time, not all the time. Like Baba says, balance in Laukic and alaukic life. So that way, main thing, they need love. Everybody needs love and care and respect and little bit conversation that somebody is at home. So that's where we have to see, maintain Laukic and alaukic life's balance. And then they would be happy.
I think I like Didi's stance on it in terms of the aspect of care and love, that eventually ultimately, even if somebody wants a physical form of love, the root is spiritual. And if I'm able to give that form of love without resistance, then it will reach the soul and they'll be nourished. And it was a nice reframe when she said, don't see him as your brother, but consider him as your child. And that makes a big difference in my ability to be open and loving.
I think what I need to also remember is that he's still living in the iron-aged world and not in the confluence age. No, seriously, because, you know, like I said, even though he feels that he takes so much benefit in so many ways and loves the Brahmin family and will come to Harmony House sometimes and interact, etc., you know, the iron-aged world soul doesn't think it's normal not to, for a married life, not to live in a physical, loving way. And it becomes a great difficulty, and I have to realize that we're coming from very different directions.
What Baba also says that, no, when you are married, and in Iron Age, people will expect at least hugging or kissing or holding hand or something like that. So Brahma Baba used to give permission to wives not to indulge in sex, but just give physical some comfort. Not, but with that awareness, no, if your awareness, this is my child, because how much love we give to our children, isn't it? Young children, yeah. So that's how you have to see that your awareness should be that he is just my child or my friend, rather than thinking he is my husband. Then he will change his attitude also. Once you change your attitude, he will also change his attitude. He won't want wife, but he will be happy with a friend.
Nice, thank you. Thank you very much. Very nice response, eh? Very good response. So,
12:25.
it's 12:25. Didi's very practical and accurate with timing. Didi, I just want one last thing for you to comment on, and I want you to give some advice on finances. I know that there are many new souls sitting in here in this room in Baba's house, and I know that one aspect of our Yagya principle is to put something in Baba's box. And I just want you to help our new brothers and sisters understand how to manage their finances well, so that some can be given to Baba. And what is the importance of putting in Baba's box?
What one has to have this awareness, no? Budget your finances so that you are having whatever you need, no? Because your body will need something, you need something for your future, you need to save some money to come to Madhuban, and household rents, food, etc., etc. So what Dadi always used to suggest, take 10% of your income and first put it in Baba's box. The rest 90%, you divide in your household expense, your transport, food, everything, and if possible, keep something for future also, emergency. Because some countries are lucky to have health benefit, but not most of the countries will have that health benefit, and any time one can fall sick, etc. So that's way, keep something for future also, save for Madhuban trip also. But I give you example in the early stage. Now I am talking about in late 60s. There was one brother who was earning 100 rupees per month. And he used to give 10 rupees every month, 10 or 15 rupees every month to Baba's box. So Dadi Prakash Mani was in Bombay, in her center this brother was coming. So Dadi knew he's earning only 100 rupees and 15 rupees is giving to Baba's box. How can he manage? So he said, Dadi, before Gyan, I used to smoke bidi or cigarette. The Indian version of cigarette is bidi. It's not so refined thing.
No.
And it was cheaper, no? Because bidis are cheaper than cigarettes. Cigarettes are made in foreign or that style. So he said, I used to spend 15 rupees for bidi and I used to manage it. So why can't I manage now by giving 15 rupees to yagya? Because that is also my really future. No, Baba always says, whatever you are giving to yagya is you are saving in bank. For future, you are depositing in bank. And so, that awareness that whatever I am receiving from Baba, I must give some return to Baba. And if that awareness is there, because I know some of the Brahmas, they come to Madhuban, they don't put much in Baba's box, but they do so much shopping. They carry so many gifts for their log cakes and medicines and luxury items and all, but they don't put in Baba's box. So that is, Baba is giving them so many gifts. No, for Madhuban, when you come to Madhuban, Baba gives you so many gifts, material gifts. Your food, your accommodation, your bills, all is paid by yagya. So if that awareness is there, that Baba is sustaining me physically as well as spiritually, at least I should give finger of my cooperation. So if that awareness is there, because even in centers when we go, naturally the rent is paid, electricity, all this is used in the center, isn't it? And if not every day tea and toli, at least you get once a week Baba's bhog. So naturally we are receiving so much physical and spiritual sustenance, we should put at least 10% of our income. So having that aim, because I know even in Bombay there was one mother, her husband was not giving her anything. And so she started selling some goods and doing some small business, earning some money so that she could give it to Baba. So in early days, that's what people had such bhavana that I must give something to Baba. And naturally having that aim, more, as you were saying, more generous we are in giving. Baba has been generous with us. He wouldn't say, okay, you'll get only 1% of what I got. He said, my treasures are open, take whatever you like. So we need to be also generous, and if we give it to Baba, Baba will provide multi-million times.
Thank you, Didi. I think it's been very good to see this overall picture of the energy of purity as the mother, the benevolent energy, the merciful energy, the giving energy. And just as you were talking about taking sustenance from Baba, I thought that purity has a deep connection with feeling a sense of belonging to Baba. And anything that you feel belongs to you, you look after. Like a child, you'll put something aside for your child. You'll think about your child first. So thank you very much, Didi, for your time. And thank you for your questions. Yeah. I think it deserves it. Okay, let's finish with some meditation.